We are live.
Howdy.
Welcome to Don't Die.
Don't die.
I'm here with my friend Michael Ridley, one of the funniest people in Austin, and I'm going to make sure that this audio is working.
Girl, stop.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you good?
Yeah.
I like your dogs.
Which one?
Pablo rules. The other one's kind of shy and weird. She's like looking at me right now. Like, see her over there?
She walks backwards too.
She's doing it right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, right on cue.
What the fuck, dude? Did you get this weird? Where'd you get this weird? Why'd you get rid of this thing, dude? She's sweet, but she's fucking weird. Well, thanks for having me. It's comfy. It's a nice place. Nice place, motherfucker.
All right.
It's comfy. It's a nice place.
Cool. That happened. The audio's working, dude.
Yeah, there it is.
See, this is why you need a producer, man.
I have one.
But it's easy to just press a button and then just be like, come over.
Taylor Gorman rules. Thank you, buddy.
Taylor's the man, yeah.
Radio Ridley Radio, 1/2 of R3. We just did 2 hours yesterday. I got a new episode of my podcast. It's Radio Ridley Radio. It comes out every Friday whenever Taylor posts it. I don't know.
Check him out. I tagged your YouTube channel in the
thanks.
bio.
Hey guys. How many people watching right now?
Looks like
none. 0. What's her name again? What's this dog's name again?
Rosie.
Rosie. What's up, Rosie? Come here, show the.
So, what's your experience with Insane Clown Posse?
I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend in middle school. All her friends were juggalos, so like by default, she wasn't really a juggalo. Like she didn't do the makeup and shit. She wasn't a juggalette. I'm sorry. And I was like ready to fully divulge into the juggalo culture, just to, stolen valor juggalo, basically, to secure the middle school.
Yeah, middle school is when I got into them too.
Middle school GF, loved fucking ICP, bro. So I was like, yo, me too, dude. Dude, ICP rules. I love Faygo. It's so good for my teeth.
This guy gave me like a burnt CD in summer camp, and it had like "Hot in Here" by Nelly, that
classic
"Tipsy" by Chingy, and then it had that a bunch of Insane Clown Posse songs on it.
Oh yeah,
and they were good. I liked them a lot. I did not know that there was a whole culture around
Miracles.
I didn't know that there was a juggalo thing.
Miracles is one of my favorite songs because at one point he goes, "Magnets, how do they work?" That was always funny. That was always funny as fuck to me. It was fucking. I think it was what's the fat one? Violent J.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, "Magnets, how do they work?" And I
what
see
song?
Miracles every day. It's called Miracles.
Okay.
By ICP, and it's so funny. And the music video is like PS2 graphics, like super low budget, and it's I don't know. It came out in like. I want to say like mid 2000s, like 2005, 2006, I think Miracles came out. I don't know, but I just remember watching that music video and being like, yo, these guys are funny as fuck, but they're like being dead serious. So everybody used to clown them. No pun intended, but people used to clown ICP fans, but now it's like ICP's kind of like back into the meta.
Well, they're like old school now. They've been around long enough. They've endured the test of time.
Oh, yeah.
They have graduated to old school.
Yeah. I bet you there's a fucking like those like people who thrift shirts and shit. You find like an old Gathering of the Juggalos 2004 vintage t-shirt. That's probably worth some fucking money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing about them is like it's the fans that suck. Like their music's actually good, but everyone I see that represents their clothing and stuff is like looks borderline homeless.
Yeah, but they're I'll defend Juggalos by saying they're some of like the most genuine chill dudes. But they are trailer park people. They're definitely trailer park people, but they're like the chillest, down to earth people. Poor whites. I identify with the poor whites.
The last Juggalo I paid attention to. There's this guy on Instagram, and he has a real doll.
Oh, sick!
He has a big, like a human-sized sex doll as his girlfriend.
Fuck yeah!
And he just posts pictures with her.
Nice.
And they're like hugging and kissing and stuff.
Yeah, they're at like Target. She's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I took Charlotte to Target. It's just like a fucking sex doll with sunglasses and a hoodie on.
And it's like that's insane, but he looks so happy.
I mean, dude, honestly, bro, if people are having like poly relationships and, I remember when being gay was extreme. You know what I mean? So if people want to be like otherkin and furries and shit like that, nobody bats an eye at that shit. Or people, I think the least it's not harmful. He ain't hurting nobody. Let the man fuck his rubber doll. But yeah, it is weird bringing it out in public because we all know what you're doing to that thing. But that's like seeing like a
Sir, you can't bring your fleshlight in here.
Yeah. What's the difference between that guy bringing his sex doll around and a guy who just like rails out his wife is with him all the time in public? Like it's the same. Like we know what you're doing to that thing.
Well, the uterus has an internal cleaning mechanism.
Yeah, that guy just has to shove a rubber hose up the butt. It's like one tunnel. The pussy in the butt on those things is like one. Believe me.
Really?
Yeah, I've looked it up. I wanted one for a long time.
That's an ergonomic design.
Well, I just want one like in the house. So like when I make it, you'd be like, "Yo, Ridley, what are you doing?" I like spending my money on stupid shit. I have a fucking full blown. I have like a legion of sex dolls in my house. I'd be like, "Don't touch them. These are not for fucking." I'll be like a collector. Do not fuck them. They're not for fucking. It's like taking like an old Star Trek action figure out of the package. Do not fuck my sex dolls. These are limited edition from my manufacturer in China. Yes, they all look like Angelina Jolie from 2001's Tomb Raider, but that's besides the point. I have like a bunch of Tomb Raiders in my house. But yeah, I don't know.
Like a Spider-Man one.
Oh yeah.
I have like the whole Marvel comic.
Yeah. I would have the Avengers. Just have a full
Avengers Bussy collection.
Yeah, full scale Avengers in my house, and don't fuck Iron Man. Oh my God, that's my favorite one. It's like the drum set scene from Step Brothers, but it's my sex doll collection. And it's just in my house. Somebody's staying at my house, and I like take the pants down, sniff it. Someone's been here. Someone's been. Just like how he knew like the drumstick was chipped, like the wig's out of place on the sex doll. I'm like, who touched you? You can keep her. You ruined her.
That'd be a creepy ass room in the dark.
That would be creepy as fuck, dude. I don't know. I used to have a joke about that. Like I would like when your girl doesn't fuck you, like is it cheating if you buy a sex doll? Like if you and your lady are having like a sexual rough patch and y'all aren't on the same wavelength as far as like fuck schedule, would it be considered cheating if you just came home with a doll one day?
I think it depends on the woman.
Yeah, I feel like a girl would be like, what the fuck? It's pretty dehumanizing to be like, I found your replacement and it doesn't talk.
Got some good news and some bad news. The good news is we're going to have a threesome. Bad news, she's not alive.
Well, she's not real.
She's not dead either.
Yeah. Cruelty free.
But the reason I brought up ICP is because the first day of high school, I see a guy with the Hatchet Man shirt on.
Oh.
And I'm like, ICP, I know them. That I like their music. Cool. What's up, dude? And he's like, oh, what's up, man? All my friends are juggalos. You want to meet them? And I'm like, fuck yeah. First day of high school, I'm making all these friends. Nice. And then he introduces me to them, and they are all in special ed.
No way.
Every single one of them. There was like 8 of them. They were all in special ed.
Just fucking Down syndrome kids going whoop 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 whoop.
They weren't fully downs. We called them halfos. They're half retarded.
Yeah,
but they were definitely retarded. And I ran home after school got out, and I deleted all the Insane Clown Posse off my computer, and I never listened to them again.
Oh, because you associated it with DS. You associated it with Nintendo Down syndrome.
Yeah, I didn't want to be classified as one of them.
Tardo bean.
But I posted that story on Instagram, and it blew up. And a lot of people have been commenting stuff along the lines of how I missed out, and I was worried what people think so much that I compromised my own integrity on my taste in music. And now I'm thinking,
maybe you did.
Yeah, maybe I missed out on the opportunity to be the king of the retards.
Oh, I told you here.
I could have been their leader.
I'll say this. I don't think you should let the pressure of people's opinions hinder you from being your authentic self and your authentic, genuine happiness.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I was 12.
That's something that I feel like a lot of kids need to learn, because there's probably imagine there was probably the greatest piano player to ever live, right? But somebody was like, piano's gay. and then he stopped. You can imagine somebody who's like a fucking absolute prodigy, but they're like, my friends think I'm gay. Like,
Yeah. Happens all the time.
like a kid that did magic. Like the kids that did the fucking magic tricks in the hallway, card tricks and shit.
I did a magic class as a kid.
Magic, yeah. I feel like a lot of those weird hobbies get like, people could be really good at them, but they get shamed out of those hobbies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought comedy was gay for a long time. I thought me doing comedy would be gay.
I still do.
Yeah, I still, every time I grab the mic, I'm like, man, this is gay as shit, dude. This is mad gay. Why are you guys, well, you guys paid money to listen to a dude talk? That's pretty gay, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I fucking, people kept telling me, like, before I went to jail in 2013, but prior to that, like, starting around 2011, 2012, 2 years prior, I feel like there were whispers of, like, the universe telling me, like, hey, and the universe would come in the form of like somebody going, you should really check out this comedy club. And then that happened enough times after I was in jail and homeless. I was like, all right, let me just go try this shit and figure it out. Let me at least see what it's like before you know what I mean?
Where was your first mic?
Newport News, Virginia, at Kazi's Comedy Club. It was, I know the exact date too. It was December 6th, 2013. So,
oh shit.
Today's August fucking what? It's August what?
19?
August 15th. It's August 15th. I'm only a few months away from my 11-year comedy anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah, almost 11 years in now.
How was your first set?
I destroyed. And then I bombed for like the next 8 weeks.
Yes.
Because I was so fucking like, yeah, dude. But like the fucking, it only makes sense that I had to do well the first time I ever did it because I have ADHD. And if I would have bombed and I would have just felt the pain, I'd be like, this is gay. I don't want to do it. I was right. This was gay all along. But like something happened where I was like talking about, because I was like fresh out of jail, and I was talking about being the only Asian guy in jail, and I just riffed on that and told my experiences in order. And the funny things about it, like walking in, and they gave me like a jumper that was like a 3X. At the time, I should have been wearing like a large. But like they take your underwear, so you're just free balling in those jumpers. And like it's a 3X jumper, so my pants are falling down. And then they make you carry like a Rubbermaid tote full of all your shit, like a Bible, pillow, toiletries and shit. They load you up with one of those. So
Everyone gets a Bible?
Yeah, they give you a Bible. Well, the jail I went to, they gave me a Bible. It was in there. But I'm walking with a tub, like a Rubbermaid tub, full of all my, toiletries and stuff for when I go to jail. And I'm in a 3X jumper, and you're walking through like the scared straight hallway where everyone's like yelling at you through the cages or whatever, yelling at you through the cells. My fucking ass crack keeps popping out. My ass is like exposed, like the girl in the sunscreen bottle. That's what my ass does. Yeah, the copper tone with the girl and the dogs pulling on her fucking underwear. That's what my fucking ass was just out. And I'm like, dude, the one time in my life where I need my ass to be fully covered, and it's just out and about, and I'm like one hairstyle away from becoming a woman.
You were how old?
I was 20.
Right. Nice young Asian boy ass.
Yeah, just some nice Asian badus just walking through the hall,
just parading it,
just
rubbing it in everyone's face.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Yeah,
it was. What did you go to jail for?
Weed.
Oh,
my apartment got raided, and I got charged with all my roommates' weed, and I didn't snitch, so I went to jail.
Well, that sucks, but that's
also
loyal of you.
Yeah, I'm very loyal. And those people, dude, my bail was only like $250, and they didn't bail me out. It was crazy.
Damn.
$250, you can't bail me out. I was like feeding you guys and shit. I was like taking care of y'all. My mom died, and I had a shit ton of money, so I was like, I just had an apartment. It was just everybody. It was a party. It was like a party apartment. And everybody that I would let crash and party with me just left me in fucking jail. And then my bills all went to default. And homeless.
That's
I started doing comedy.
That's a lot. That's a good segue into comedy.
Yeah, because you kind of have nothing else but comedy. And then like, the only happiness I feel in life is when I'm doing this. Oh, well, then I got to keep I have to build everything around this main goal is to keep going.
I haven't necessarily been like called to comedy. I've just been called away from everything else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like everything else is just like, you're not for you. And then comedy's like, oh, this.
Yeah. Comedy works.
Comedy works.
Comedy worked kind of for me. I don't know. Everybody's hitting me up to do their podcast. I've done this will be my third this week, and then next week I got another one, and people want me on their shows and stuff. I've been like practicing. I've been practicing like manifesting my attraction. Like I want people to be attracted to me and want to work with me, and I've just kind of been wishing quietly for like people to reach out and ask me to do their podcasts and ask me to do their shows. And then there's just a plethora of shit, just people just hitting me up. I'm like, oh, that shit's working. And
Nice.
I want to do your show. I'll do your podcast and be a good time. Let's call me. Just like somebody call me. Somebody message me, and it's working. You hit me up. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
Meet your fucking weird ass dog, and then you have a chill dog in a nice house.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
you're definitely in the top 5 funniest people in town for sure.
Girl, stop.
That means you're number 5.
You're making me blush.
No.
I'm okay with being number 5.
No, Casey Rocket's always going to be my number 1.
Oh yeah, I feel like Casey, Ari Maddie, Cam.
I haven't seen Ari Maddie do stand up yet.
Oh,
but
he's
I've seen
destroying.
like clips of him, and
Oh,
I like it a lot.
oh, the dude destroys. He's got
And he used to fight too. That's cool.
yeah, he used to fight too. Yeah, he just did Rogan, and me and him are gonna be at We both have a show on August 31st. He's got the early show. I have the late show. We're at Hyenas Fort Worth August 31st. Come hang. I think they might bump my show out. But
Is comedy going well?
I have no control over that. Huh? Yes. Good. Comedy's good. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm just doing showcases all over town. I've been doing some hot ass shows lately. I did Martin Henn has a show in Buda called at the Meridian. Have you ever done that?
Mhm.
It's like a nice little place. It's like a bar.
The dude that works at Buzzmill?
Martin Henn. I don't know if he works at Buzzmill. He's a comic, but you reach out to him. Go see that show. It's in Meridian on Tuesdays. It's like one of the hottest shows for a Tuesday next to Kill 20 Regulars.
Someone, I don't know if it was that same person, booked me on like 5 shows.
Mm.
And I was like, sweet. And then he was like, hey, never mind. We double booked all of those shows.
Ouch! I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate losing a show. I hate because I'll get so many, and then a couple of them they'll be like, "Yeah, it's canceled. I'll reschedule with you guys," and then you never hear anything again, or you can't do the reschedule date. It's just like, well,
Yeah, I'd say that's the most stressful part about comedy is just
how uncertain it is.
it's like not in your control.
I know. I was supposed to do a show today at Velveeta Room at 10 p.m. And that's a really hard slot. Thursdays at 10 p.m. It's hard to sell, so that we lost that. But it was like a best set gets $200.
That's cool.
I know, and I'm like, damn, I could have won $200. I just lost the opportunity to possibly win $200 or something. Maybe, I don't know.
My Stell show's going pretty good. That's a
Dude,
nice thing.
I loved that show. That it's like a nice fucking place. I like comedy in a nice dark room. It kind of gives off. You know what your showcase gives off? It gives off like there should be some busty bitch in a sparkly dress smoking one of them cigarettes at an extendo thing. Yeah, and she should be laying on a piano while some guy drinking a dry martini. He's playing. It's like you know what I mean? It's got like this show tuney kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Very intimate. So it's a Stella. It's like in a basement. Well, it's not a basement. It's just more of like a cocktail lounge underground.
It's Estelle's every Thursday
Estelle's,
at 8 p.m.
Yeah, Estelle.
Yeah, and it's cool. I'm booked on 4 shows a month.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
Getting 4 shows a month is kind of like if you can get a booked spot a week in Austin, I think you'll be fine. It's almost impossible to not get a booked spot if you're like somewhat decent at comedy. If you're just just generally competent, know how to talk to people. And,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I am.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm that autistic.
Who knows? She gonna bite me?
No.
She a biter?
No.
Pablo almost bit me
Yeah.
because I was
saw
playing
that.
with him.
He was getting all.
Yeah, does he get angry like that?
He gets weird if you like pull his body in certain ways.
Oh yeah. I like to do that. You see, if I see a dog, I just have this instinct to rile him up. I'm the guy who comes to your house and like gets your dogs all excited, and then I leave. I'll get your dog so fucking riled up, and then I ghost. Dude. I'm like really good at that. That's like one of my hobbies is to go to my friends' houses and fucking startle their animals and then leave and permanently alter the house's vibe and then leave.
Pablo's fun to startle
Yeah.
because he's like, I mean, I've had him for 8 years,
Yeah.
so
Seems
he's
like a
just
good
used to
dog.
me.
Yeah.
And I'll just do shit like when I'll just like say different things to him. I'll be like, look at that, what's that? And then he'll just like look around and stuff, and that's fun for me, and I think he enjoys it too. But now he's gotten to the point where he's like, you've been doing this for like 8 years, dude. I'm not buying it anymore. And then I'll be like, oh, what's that? And then he'll just ignore me.
We don't have a doorbell, but I pulled up a doorbell on YouTube and I just kept playing it.
Yeah,
The doorbell video, ding dong, right next to your dog's head, and just watch them fucking go crazy. There's nobody there. We live in an apartment complex. We don't have a fucking doorbell, but it's just ingrained in his fucking prehistoric dog brain. The ding dong sound means there's an intruder. He just starts going ballistic. I like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. They just know doorbells. Like, fuck that. I got my doorbell removed. Like it's
the chime one.
Yeah.
So you just put the ring doorbell. In
Yeah, that goes to my phone.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I like the ring doorbell.
I don't like the sounds of doorbells. I don't like the fact that someone can just come to my house and make me hear a loud noise, and then my dogs start barking.
Light
Anyone can do that.
You just don't like getting a. You're just an old man that's tired of fucking getting ding dong ditched. In the past life, you were Mr. Halpern and those fucking damn kids.
Dude, I think in my past life I was sacrificed for adrenochrome.
Oh, okay. I think in my past life I was like a little Filipino thief. Like Spaniards are here. It's the 1400s. I'm like a Filipino Aladdin type kid, like a little just bastard thief. He's got a knife, baggy pants.
Did the Spanish conquer the Philippines?
Yes, at one point, yeah. Conquistadors, 1400s. I think during the Crusades. That's why the Philippines is mostly Catholic.
And you're Vietnamese.
No, I'm Filipino. Why would I just bring up the Philippines?
I don't know, dude. Okay, that makes sense. That's why you look kind of Mexican, because it's the Spanish.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I want to get my 23andMe done. My mom was. Filipinos are generally dark-skinned people. My mom was like light-skinned. I might be Japanese or Chinese. There might be some Chinese in there.
I mean, then you got to give BlackRock your DNA.
Yeah, and they're all making all those 23andMe DNA services. All they're doing is making a doppelganger to replace you. They're gonna take your personality and put it in that body. Why do you need my DNA? You have to be making a copy of me somewhere. Everyone who sent their DNA to like 23andMe and shit, there is a biological copy of you floating in a tube underground in some facility.
Yeah, you know what the Cabbage Patch Kids are?
No.
They would farm children. I think this was in a farm in Virginia, actually.
Weird. That's where I'm from.
And
I kind of look like a Cabbage Patch Kid. That's crazy.
they would farm humans to do gross stuff with.
Oh, really?
So there's probably just clones of us being tortured in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
In DC.
Also, a lot of people will be like, dude, you look just like somebody I know. And I don't know if it's because I'm Asian or if because it's probably because they're racist and they're just mistaking me for another Asian guy. But I like to entertain the idea that I do have multiple versions of me just floating around doing shit. They have different social security numbers and they have a different legal name, but it's literally the same guy.
And you guys can like combine and become one Super Michael?
Super Michael, yeah, that would be crazy. Michael Zord?
Michael Remus Prime? Wait, is Optimus Prime, does he separate like that? What's the Transformer dude that is multiple? Gundam Wing? It's something.
No, that's Power Rangers. Megazord.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, you already
Zoltan. Zoltan? No. Voltron. Voltron, yeah. It's like 5 Japanese kids piloting tigers. Robot tigers, and then it becomes a dude.
Yeah.
Why are the Japanese so good at that? Why are Japanese people...
Probably the bomb.
I was gonna say it had to be the bombs, dude. You drop bombs on them, and then they just start cranking out the dankest fucking IPs the world's ever seen. Fucking Voltron, Hello Kitty, Dragon Ball Z,
hentai.
So yeah, they started cranking out. Yeah, these motherfuckers were a warrior class of people dictated by samurais. We dropped the bombs on them, and now it's fucking tentacles going in drawn vaginas.
Yeah, that would be funny if they discovered that like a side effect of getting nuked was like becoming creative.
Incredibly creative and just polite. Yeah, it's crazy. You like drop a nuclear bomb on people and they like become super polite and orderly. It's so weird. It's crazy how like those guys just are like nice because they could fucking get melted again at any moment.
It kind of reminds me. I used to have this thought that like, what if getting shot in the head at the right angle feels really good?
I don't know.
And turns out, have you ever watched like near-death experience stuff?
No.
There's a whole YouTube channel just called Near Death Experience, and it's just a bunch of different regular people just like telling their story of how they got hit by a car, and then they all have the same story. How they like float out of their body. Yeah,
they see the light. Oh yeah.
Every single one of them sounds like a DMT trip.
Yeah.
They're like, I was engulfed in infinite love.
Yep, been there.
All my loved ones were. Have you been like near dead or DMT?
DMT. I've done DMT like maybe 8 or 12 times, anywhere between there. I feel like probably I could confidently say like maybe like 9 or 10 times. And every time I've done it, everybody talks about when they do DMT. They're like, I didn't blast off. I don't know, dude. I fucking left my body every single time I did DMT. You're not, because I also was like, one hit, hold it in, take a second hit, hold it in. Okay, now take a third hit with the 15% lung capacity you have left.
And then you
hold it. All right, pass the pipe, and then I'm just
kaleidoscope
gone. Just eyes shut, soul ripped out, and then I'm watching me laying on a bed from the perspective of like a shoebox diorama of the room, and then that turns all white, and then I'm fucking in an egg on an escalator. I'm in a giant egg that's on an escalator, and I can see like this part of people. I can only see like their nose and their lips, and they're like, and they're all white, and I can only see their mouths and like part of their nose.
A lot of black people.
I saw, yeah. Well, my black people, but their skin was purple. I saw a bunch of. I had one DMT trip where I was just around a bunch of like intergalactic exotic dancers, and they all had like big purple afros that like covered their eyes so you could only see their mouths, and then they had these like big booties and like perky tits, and they were all dancing and happy to see me, and it was just like thousands of them in a row, and I'm on the egg in the escalator. I don't know why.
The ones I saw, they were like 2-dimensional cartoons.
Yeah,
and they didn't have skin.
Yeah,
but I just knew they were black people. They were dancing like black people. We were having a good time. We were in like an interdimensional pizza shop. And I've done DMT like a lot.
Yeah,
like I did it like 100 times in 1 month. There's
a cartoon from Gumball. There's a cartoon character from the Gumball cartoon show. It's they have a therapist, their school therapist or whatever. He looks like one of my DMT people. I'm trying to pull it up. I don't have internet right now. But the Adventures of Gumball, it's an old show. It was just a show on Cartoon Network or whatever. But it's set in high school, and the therapist or whatever, the counselor, was like this, and he's a hippie too. And he's like, his eyes are kind of yellow and he has red dots for eyes. So it's like insinuated that he's like the stoner counselor. But he looks like one of my DMT people. So I don't know, maybe those.
I've always felt an attraction to cartoon characters. I mean, not sexually, but like when I think about my biggest influences as a kid and like who I wanted to be when I grow up, I wanted to be a cartoon character. I was like Bart Simpson was up there.
Yeah. Asian. Yeah, I'm like Asian Bart Simpson. But yeah, but DMT people look like this guy. The DMT. They look like that. Like DMT people.
they can't see that.
I can't see that. I wish you had a producer because then you could show stuff. I don't know. They can't see that either. But yeah, I don't know. What's his name? Steve Small from The Amazing World of Gumball. Hold on here.
I'll show it to the camera.
Show the camera. This is what DMT people look like to me. They have like this kind of alien, cartoony, human-esque look to him. That guy looks just like a DMT person. There you go. Yeah, you see that? That's what they look like to me. Now imagine that, but like it's a hot chick with a purple afro. That's what they all look like to me.
I've had so many weird trips, dude. I've had a lot of really beautiful, amazing ones where I was connected with all the love and stuff. And then I've had weird ones where like entities were like trying to molest me.
Oh no, I've never met the molestation ones.
Yeah, and I got
the gropey. You went to the pedophilic DMT realm where it's all the creeps of the DMT realm, all the sexual predators of that universe. Here, that's where you get to
all the people giving power to the Democrats.
Oh yeah,
entities.
The
So my first time I did DMT, I like blasted into space. I saw Earth. There was an electrical current. I zoomed in. I became electrical current. I was looking through the eyes of everyone on Earth. It was amazing. It felt real, and the lighting of the lighting corresponded with it was dark where I was, and then I was in Asia, and it was daytime, and then it got gradually darker as I circled back to where I was. So it felt real. It felt like I temporarily hijacked a bunch of people's consciousness, and then I was like, that was fucking incredible. And then I did it again, like 15 minutes later, and then I got violently raped by this alien demon with barbed wire tentacles. It was awful.
That sounds horrible.
It was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
I feel like that's like,
and it's not even real.
I feel like that's happened to people who smoke DMT a lot.
Yeah, this is second time. Well, I think
that was your second time.
Yeah, the second time in 20 minutes.
Oh,
so I like did it and then I went right back in.
Yeah,
and she's like, "You're abusing it," and then
yeah, because it is like a somebody that used to administer it to us would be like, no, you guys can use it as much as you want. I do it too much. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm abusing it because every time I do it lately, it's just kind of been displeasant. Like it's kind of like I don't think you're supposed to sell it either. I think they know, whoever they are, they know when you're fucking not like using it in the right way. And I think it's like you're supposed to have somebody guide you, and you're supposed to have like 4 or 5 people who are all have like good energy, and they all have like good intentions with you, and they're not going to hurt you. People you can trust, and there needs to be like
good music.
Yeah,
physical comfort.
Yeah. We would sit in like a big comfy couch. They give you a comforter and a pillow, and then they pass you the pipe, and then you would just blast off. And
I would just blast off in my Nissan Sentra in a Kmart parking lot.
See, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Like to me, it's like this like religious kind of sacred thing that I haven't done it in 5 or 6 years, but when I was doing it, it was like a of like on and off every other month. So yeah, about 8 or 9 times in a year, and then that kind of changed me in this of how I understand consciousness, and it changed how I see the human experience, because I saw what it was like to have your body voluntarily, your body and soul voluntarily separated for 15, 20 minutes, but God, it feels like an eternity. It kind of is like in that same sense of like when you dream and you've dreamt like 6 months, but it's like, dude, I was only asleep for 6 hours.
So I used to screenshot it right before I'd take my first hit. Screenshot the time, and then I'd look when I came down, and I would just go through this fucking journey, dude. I would come back teary-eyed sometimes. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's like back like that too.
It's like combining in a not weird way. It's like combining laughing hysterically with your best friends, having a wild orgasm with a woman you love, and then like
being in a church.
hugging your grandma,
or I would compare it to like that feeling you get when you walk in a church and you kind of start getting choked up, and you're like, why am I, you know what I mean? Why do I feel like such a strong emotion walking into this church and being with, this holy place? I don't know. To me, it's like this, it's like a pseudo spiritual experience.
Regal.
Yeah. Cause it's all, and it was always the same way for me too. It was always like one of those futuristic egg chairs, in the sense of like a sleep deprivation or a sound and sight, sense deprivation tank type deal, on an escalator. And then there are people on the rails that are like looking at me and welcoming me. And then a bright light at the end of, at the top of the escalator, there's a bright light, and it's bright in the sense of like you're in a dentist chair. So it all kind of feels like I'm on like a like a treadmill or something mechanical. I'm being moved upwards as the trip's beginning, and then fractals or fast light or something. Now I'm not there anymore. But it was like that. Like I remember one time, like when I was talking about the shoebox diorama, I'm looking down, I can see myself, I can see my buddy sitting in the chair next to the bed watching me, making sure I'm having a good trip. And then I'm just like, and then that becomes real small. Now I'm gone. I'm not there anymore. I'm in that realm. And fucking beautiful women, or I've seen like fucking one time I got like shoved into this little ball of energy, and these elves like passed me around like a volleyball, and then they threw me into this like giant judge chair. Like picture the Abraham Lincoln statue in DC, like that, and being down and looking up, and then there's just like a holy king, and he like leans over his chair and he looks at me and he's like, and I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. And then that was it. Like I fucking saw God and he was not happy. He was like, what are you doing here? Why have you come here? You're not supposed to be here yet, type thing. That was it.
I got locked out. Like if I could smoke a bunch of DMT right now and nothing would happen.
Whoa.
Like I've been doing this joke for a while where I'm like, I did so much DMT it stopped working, and like I got locked out by the entities.
Oh yeah, we don't want to see you here no more.
And that's true. That's very true.
Weird.
And
They're
it makes
happy
sense.
to see me.
Well, you did it, like you have good intentions and stuff. I push things.
Oh, you want to get high
I want to die without hurting
yourself,
friends and family and myself.
Oh yeah.
So every time,
kind of like dying.
like it was weird, man, because the way I felt, it wasn't like a drug addiction. I'm like, I need to get high. It was like I was like, I need to see God. I need to see my father.
Yeah. I'm like, I got like addicted to going there.
Yeah, I was like, I need to see my dad.
That makes sense.
Big Daddy God.
I got like one time I smoked it and I got shrunken down to like I was a full grown adult, and then I was like maybe 6 months old, and then I was like gold, and I was in space, and I'm just this little gold baby floating in space. And then I see like a woman in this long cloak dress thing, and she has one of those what are those masks that you see at in Louisiana? You know what I'm saying?
The Mardi Gras ones?
Yeah, she's wearing like a Mardi Gras mask with a blank expression. There wasn't a smile. And it was like a geisha.
You're close to the mic.
It was like a geisha.
You can pull it too.
It was like a geisha Mardi Gras mask attached to this flowing cloak, and then it, like whoever that was, it picked me up and it held me like a baby, and then it takes its hand and it opens the mask like a door, and just light starts pouring into me, and then I feel like 10 years of I get the feeling of catching up with somebody you haven't seen for a long time. And then when I got out, I was just like, I came back from the DMT trip and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's very familiar. There's a lot of familiarity.
I met my mom. Like I was like, that had to be my mom. Because like, why would I be an infant? Why would I be in her arms? And why would I, when I was tripping and I was like, I just had the conscious thought of, that's my mom. Holy shit, this is my mom. And there was nothing to tell me that. It was just kind of that feeling of, think about being around your parents or being around somebody you love deeply, and then you know who it is because you're around them. And it's like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That feeling of familiarity. I felt the paternal connection between me and this entity. And I was like, oh, it's just my mom. She lives here now. She's with these people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's passed on. She's not in her physical form. She's in her spiritual, ethereal form in this different place with all these other people. And then it's like, oh, they don't die. They don't go to hell. They don't die and go to hell. They die and they just go here. And then they're probably awaiting to be re-uploaded into a new vessel.
Yeah. And I think that's why you have dreams where you like, oh yeah, I had a dream about Michael, but it wasn't Michael. It was like someone else.
But it felt like I was with Michael.
Yeah, I think that's your brain like patching together a soul to a face. Like your brain and your soul kind of combining. But DMT, when I used to do it, I would do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I always do DMT with my eyes closed.
And after enough of that, I'm like, let's see what happens if I keep my eyes open.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then shit gets weird, dude. When you keep your eyes open, because then I started doing it from then on. Because it would just, there was one time I was moving and I took a break. I was like, I just need 7 minutes. And I did DMT on the balcony in Los Angeles. And I'm just looking out the balcony and I'm like, holy shit, dude. The whole street turned into these like metallic space plated Dr. Seuss type of like long droopy
buildings.
Yeah, but they were all metal. But
Oh yeah, that sounds like some DMT ass shit, dude.
It was cool.
That does sound like something that would.
And then I did DMT looking at a glass table, just like this black glass, and it turned into a window, and I could see space. There were planets everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy what DMT does to your brain. It's like, I know I'm physically sitting here and I ain't gone, but dude, mentally I'm somewhere else completely. Mentally to the point to where it feels like I'm physically somewhere else. And that shit kind of like changes how I see reality. That's why I understand why it's fucking why it's illegal. You couldn't give this to fucking everybody. Not everyone has the mental capacity to process what happens to you when you smoke DMT. Like, dude, could you imagine giving like some middle of America Bible Belt people fucking DMT and then them being like, wait, I think I understand the Bible better now. And it's like, yeah, dude, it might be everything. It might be a combination of all religions.
Dude, Pablo ate my mushroom chocolate bars.
Whoa. That's like double negative for him because the mushrooms could hurt him and then the chocolate can hurt him.
Yeah. So he ate 10 times the lethal dose of chocolate.
Whoa.
And then 1.5 ounces of albino penis envy, which is the strongest.
Yeah,
an ounce and a half.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've done albino penis envy and I've had like I did 5 grams one time and I had like a full blown like schizophrenic breakdown last Christmas. Last Christmas I took 5 grams of albino penis envy and locked myself out, shut the bedroom door, and I was tripping so hard and having like a full-blown living nightmare, but my brain and my mouth were just sealed shut and I was just stuck in my head freaking out. And my wife's on the phone with her mom and she's like, yeah, Michael's laying down. He just took some mushrooms. He's just trying to take it easy. Meanwhile, I'm like, help me, help, no. She's shutting the door. Like she sees me in the bedroom, just talking to her mom, shuts the door. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, help, help. But physically, I'm just, but in my mind, I'm like, honey, give me water.
You couldn't talk? You went nonverbal?
I couldn't talk. I was freaking out. Like, I've tripped so hard on mushrooms, like parts of my body physically shut down, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is a nightmare."
Holy shit!
You'll get through it, buddy.
I've never had a bad trip on mushrooms.
Oh no, I've had many bad trips on mushrooms, but it's like I don't get bummed out because I'm not looking at it from the aspect of like a drug addict. I'm looking at it from the aspect of like somebody who uses this as like medication or something, and I go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I have been a bad guy. I've been doing bad things. I've been having a nasty energy about me. That only makes sense that now I'm looking at myself in this most disgusted way. Like when you're upset with yourself on mushrooms, it's like, oh God, I got to be a better guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to be nicer to people. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please make this. I'm done. Because it's that self-hatred. It manifests and it gets extrapolated by the psilocybin. It multiplies your negative feelings. You know what I mean? And if you're having them, then, you got to work through it.
Yeah. Doug Stanhope had a thing about how there's good drugs and bad drugs.
Yeah.
And good drugs or bad drugs are the ones that numb you to the pain. And good drugs are the one that enhance it. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm losing the house, I'm going to take acid.
Yeah. No. Acid would make you, if you're losing your house and you take acid, you would just kind of start crying and probably fucking having a hardcore panic attack, and you're envisioning your family dying and nowhere safe, and those anxious thoughts just get multiplied and fucking double down, and like you're thinking of shit that's hasn't even happened yet, and it's like, okay, I gotta make sure none of that stuff happens. I'm gonna fix everything now. I understand the trip. Thanks.
Yeah, I used to I used to be kind of nomadic
Mm.
until I moved here. Like I was in a different place a lot. Didn't really have a solid place. Like I'd live with friends and then I'd get like a fully furnished place for a little bit. But I would end up being on acid while I was homeless a lot of times.
Me too.
And
I did that too.
and it would kick in where I'm like, oh, I'm homeless right now. And then it was like, and I'm doing fine. And then you could like kind of accept being a homeless person on acid, which
Yeah, acid did help me accept my homelessness for a little bit, but then it also kind of like put me in the perspective of, oh yeah, you don't have to be like this though. Like you can if you want, but like you probably are more intelligent than you give yourself credit for, and you can figure this out. But I was doing a lot of acid when I was homeless. It was like 7 or 8 months I was homeless. I did acid maybe like 10 or 15 times.
Yeah, I haven't really done drugs in like over a year probably.
Yeah, I think
I feel boring. I'm
yeah.
bored a lot.
I do mushrooms, but I'll do like 2.5 to 3.5 grams, and then I haven't done mushrooms in like I would say 6 months.
The problem for me with mushrooms is I did them a few months ago, and I was so happy.
Yeah.
That the next day I was sad. I was like, I want to be happy like yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is how it starts, because I used to just take more mushrooms every day.
I think a chemical dependence on mushrooms is when you just start having bad trips all the time too, because you're just chasing, your expectations get set. You come into the mushroom trip with such high expectations, and then you feel like you wasted your money and your time, and you start feeling bad about it.
Like, this is gonna fix me, and then you're like, everything's worse.
It didn't fix me. It actually wrung out all the serotonin in my head, and now I feel worse. It's supposed to multiply existing serotonin. If you're depressed and you take it, it'll probably when you're depressed and you take it, it like gets you back to zero. But when you're already doing good, I feel like, and then you take it, it like puts you back around to the negative again. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're repairing something that didn't need to be repaired, and then it ultimately caused damage.
Yeah, it's
like breaking the shower when you just had to fix the sink, and the sink was fine.
Or it's like a too many cooks type situation.
Too many cooks, yeah. You're doing too much, and now you've actually. Yeah, I think that's what happened the last time I did mushrooms. Was like it didn't fix me, so I was like, all right, let me chill out on them then, because I'm probably doing them too often. I was doing them like once a month.
Yeah, I was doing them
too often.
I was doing them every day for 2 years. Every day.
Yeah, no, that's a nightmare.
And I was loving it. I was so happy all the time. But I would wake up and I'd be like, I want to kill myself.
How much?
And then I would take mushrooms.
How much a day?
Between 2 to 5 grams.
A day?
Yeah.
Dude, there's like no recovery. There's like nothing. You're just kind of.
It still worked. I never had a tolerance issue. It just got to the point where I'm like, okay, life's going great, everything's going well, but I don't know anyone else that does this many drugs. Mm-hmm. So I should probably stop before I actually go crazy.
Yeah,
I think I'm already past that point.
I think after I take them once, my tolerance is already really strong. So when I take them once and then I take them the next day, it doesn't work. So I try to like let it die down. I was doing them like 4 times a year, once every 3 months, and then do like a macro, like take like 5 to 7 once every 3 months. And that was helping me for a bit. But then it became, now I'm going to do them every month. I'm going to do like 3 to 4 every month. And then that became like, oh, fuck. And then I had that hardcore bad trip. I had a very bad trip on Christmas that I was just talking about. And then the last time I tripped mushrooms was back in May. And we went on a walk, and we walked through Barton Springs and all this shit. And that was a good-ass time. I just had a good-ass time.
Yeah, nature's cool on mushrooms.
Yeah, I like.
So I used to be an alcoholic.
So, yeah, me too. Yeah.
So I quit drinking with the help of mushrooms.
Me too.
But then
That's exactly how
I got addicted to mushrooms.
Then you get addicted to mushrooms for a little bit. And then you're like, all right, I'm gonna chill out.
Which, granted, is better because I could get fucked up and go out, and I would just make friends. I would never have any problems with alcohol. I would end up fighting people or something.
But yeah, with alcohol, I have no problem making friends. But on mushrooms, I kind of just like get overstimulated.
I kind of had to train myself. I would like take mushrooms and then force myself to go out.
Yeah.
Because I had to like relearn how to socialize after I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
I was like, what do we talk about? How did I do this? How am I not a virgin?
Yep. That's what happened with me in comedy. Is like when I first visited Austin, I was still drinking, and I got on Kill Tony, and I did Secret Show, and they all fell in love with this drunk version of me. Well, kind of drunk. I'd never go on stage like super sloshed. I was kind of more reserved when I came here because I was like, I don't want to be a drunk guy and fucking make an ass of myself and shit at this place with all these famous comedians and stuff like that. I don't want to make a fool of myself. But then I was more chill. I'd be like 2 or 3 White Claws deep on stage and more chill and more likable and more conversational. And I was like, oh, they're just falling in love with me being addicted to alcohol. I don't want to set that as my precedent. Like, I'm not trying to set a precedent of like, I'm the party guy. I'm drunk all the time. Because that guy, the party guy, he's like the saddest guy in the world. Because when he's alone, he can't be alone with himself. He has to be around people and he has to be consuming. And it's like, bro, I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to be fucking alone with my thoughts. I'm going to teach myself how to not turn to the bottle every time I feel a little bit of displeasure or I feel a little bit of struggle or pain. It's like I'm going to accompany myself with suffering. I'm going to learn how to suffer. Alcohol's kind of kept me from suffering.
Yeah.
So learn how to suffer. Once you learn how to suffer, then you learn how to love yourself. And then when you learn how to love yourself is when you know how to be yourself without any assist of so I had to like basically, relearn how to be social, figure out who the fuck you are without this.
When I started, I was like 18. And
I started drinking at like
18.
I started drinking at like maybe 15.
And at that point, I was not very happy in general. Like my whole childhood sucked. I don't think I had a single day of happiness until around the time I started drinking.
Right.
So, fast forward like 5-6 years, every single good thing that had ever happened to me was when I was drunk. All the good times involved alcohol. And then all the bad times when I was sober before I started drinking. So like my brain was just conditioned to be like alcohol good, sober bad.
Right.
And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, I've came a long way. I actually like who I am now.
Right.
I don't think I need, like, it's kind of pathetic to need to be on a substance. I got to the point where I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Oh, it's weakness. Yeah.
That's gay.
I can't even exist without being drunk. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, like saying, I just need like a hit of weed before I go out. That's like the same as some middle-aged lady being like, I need my antidepressants.
I need my pills.
It's the same thing.
Or like, I need a glass of wine. I can't deal with these people.
And embracing the suffering.
Learn how to suffer, dude. It'll make you you get so strong. You become so mentally fortuitous when you kind of just learn how to just, like, that's what I tell my friends when they're going through shit. I'm like, be sober and miserable. Yeah.
Sit there and fucking feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's like, I don't know.
Like when you stub your toe, you go, oh, fuck. And then it's it. That's it. It's over. You move on. I scream all the time when I'm like in the kitchen. I'm always dropping shit. If I didn't do that, I think it would fuck my day up.
What naturally react to? Yeah, just move past it. It's like, oh, it's happened. All right, let's get over it.
Like, they say cussing like increases your pain tolerance.
Oh yeah.
Or just like screaming in general.
Yeah. Get a good scream out once in a while. That's also your primal.
It's the best part about living here.
Yeah, it's your primal caveman brain and like trying to adjust to, brother. Like we were getting chased by saber-toothed tigers. Caught like in comparison to how quickly the world has advanced, to how our emotions and our minds have evolved, the world has moved faster than we can process the growth. So it's like,
oh yeah, dude, I don't think we've changed at all.
No, that's
in
what I'm
hundreds
saying.
of thousands of years. I think the exact same like little smirks we do and the things we laugh at and the problems we have, all the same.
All of it boils down to ooga booga times. And it's like, bro, you just gotta exert that energy. So yell, scream, fucking go run, go lift weights, or do some physical activity. Physically exert whatever the fuck's going on in here. That's why I like comedy, because I can physically exert. That's why I'm so performative and got like good energy, and I'm always moving, and I'm fucking sweating, and I'm fucking, because like, dude, that's like all the fucked up shit and all my anger, all my sadness. It's getting like, I'm converting it into this, like, hey, like I'm converting it into, I take all the shitty things, all that have happened to me, all the anger that I feel, I turn it into good. I turn it into like this good thing for somebody else. Yeah.
Comedy is alchemy.
Yeah. I just take my bad feelings and then I make good feelings for others with it, as opposed to taking my bad feelings and hurting myself. Fucking hurting myself. I'm just hurting myself. Drug use and all that shit. That's just you. That's like being depressed and drinking is literally like the adult version of cutting your thighs with a razor blade. It's just you can't see the scars because it's all
in your liver.
It's all in your liver. Yeah. It's like, dude, like you have the liver. Your liver looks like a middle school white girl's legs. Like fucking, you're just hurting yourself, bro. We kind of romanticize that in society. I think that's big liquor, though. I think liquor and Johnny Walker and shit. The guy who just sits in his study, fucking just shaking. Ugh. That guy, that sucks, dude.
I thought that was cool. I was like, I want to be that guy.
Cool. I want to be the guy in the study with the bear bust, the bust of the bear's
just
head.
drink scotch and not even flinching.
You're not even wincing because you drank so much. Like I was to the point where I could drink liquor and I wouldn't even wince, and I was like,
I trained myself to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only gonna drink whiskey for this whole month.
Yeah,
and it took like 3 weeks, and I used to go every time.
Whiskey. Yeah,
and then after like 3 weeks, I was like, we did it.
Yeah, because now you're just a grizzled old man. You know, you're listening to the logs on the fire crackle while you contemplate whether or not you're going to lose this house, and you can keep all these bills paid. You got payroll, and you got employees, and you have assets and liabilities, and you're like, I get it. I totally get it.
What sucks though is like I can never, like, that's gone. I can never go back into it. Like, the sober thing didn't work out because everything that I've learned about myself and how, I don't know, how everything works, it would just. When I have done drugs, the few times I've slipped up here and there, I couldn't enjoy the high because I was just thinking about how this is like going against all the things that I had set out for myself.
Yeah,
that's why I used to tell people never quit because you're gonna have to stick with it.
Yeah, because I feel like all the progress that I've made mentally and emotionally and physically would get undone by just a few drinks.
Yeah.
If I start having a few drinks, then it's just an easier way to. It's like an ice rink, and there's an edge. You can fall down a hole, and it's like you're not going to risk slipping and falling into that hole if you never step on the rink. You know what I mean? You have the option to just not participate in that because of the potential risks. And I could see myself getting drunk, talking out of my ass, being spiteful, start bullying people. I used to get drunk and I'd bully people, like in comedy. I would fucking text people at 1 a.m. and tell them I'm going to talk to the manager and steal that showcase from you. I would fucking abuse people and fucking say crazy shit when I'm drunk because I thought it was funny. Like, to me, I'm like trolling other comics drunk as fuck and like being like a fucking edgy dickhead and alienating myself. I'd go to the open mic. I wouldn't talk to nobody. I would just be sitting in the corner like this with a drink in my hand. And then I'd go on stage and destroy. And then nobody wants to come up to me and say good job or ask me to do a show because I'm so like, my energy was so fuck off. Leave me alone. I'm the best here. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. It was like, dude, we're in an open mic in Virginia. What are you doing? I had like this Mamba mentality, like dickhead king open micer, like leave me alone. Don't fucking talk to me. And then I would also be like, why the fuck are all these people getting booked? They've been doing comedy for 2 years. These guys fucking suck dick. They can't even do 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm like 7 years deep in my open mic scene, like, well, and then that kind of turns into maybe it's me. Maybe I should quit. I don't like the kind of person comedy's made me. Well, maybe I'll start over. And then I come to Austin and I'm on the plane and I'm like, show me if I'm supposed to keep doing this. And then boom, Kill Tony Secret Show. And then, all right, let's get sober. Boom. Now we're here. Doing shows, getting booked, doing podcasts with my friends. Be nice, be sweet. Be friends with everybody. Be kind. Be nice to yourself and be nice to others. It's easier to be nice to other people when you start being nice to yourself.
I would just drink and then I would enter a non-consensual roast battle.
Yeah. I'll get drunk. I'll be like, this
just
motherfucker
roast people.
Yeah, brutally roasting people.
I was trying to be funny, but
they were getting their feelings hurt. Yeah, they were like getting their feelings hurt.
Like you can't do that.
Yeah, nobody can tell if you're like genuinely just trying to be funny or you're just a miserable dickhead that's fucking with people. That's what it was. I was just a miserable guy that I would fuck with people. I'm like, oh, it's because I'm too scared to leave. Do it, and I get insecure when I see somebody getting after it more than me, or and then I come here and it's like everybody's doing one.
Yeah, what I've done is I've just trained myself to love open mics.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna get booked. Whatever. I'm gonna enjoy.
Yeah, fall in love with the process.
Because open mics can be even more fun than a show.
Open mics can be fun.
Because you could just say whatever you want and it doesn't matter if you bomb.
Yeah, there's less stress. But then I kind of something I taught myself is, well, I'm booked on the shows, right? And I'm doing this show. I get 10 minutes. But I can also work on stuff and kind of go into those murky waters like I'm at an open mic. And sometimes, it might pay off. And it's okay. It's okay to fail. People always assume, like, especially here in Austin, that the vibe is like, oh, they bombed. You see somebody bomb twice and it's almost like, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to, like, you know what I mean? I always felt like you bomb twice in a row and on a showcase or something. A book show, you have book shows and you bomb twice and you're like, oh, I'm never getting booked again. I'm getting fucking put on the back burner for a while until I figure this shit out. That was always my fear. It was like, oh, I'm gonna get put on the back burner. Oh, I'm gonna get left behind. I'm gonna fade into obscurity. Nobody's gonna ask me to do their show because I suck at comedy and they can see it. And it's like, no, dude, you just had a rough set. You'll be fine. Just do better next time. People see that you're doing good. People have seen you do good at comedy. So it's like, oh. These are the internal conversations I have with myself. If I bomb on a showcase and I'm punching steering wheels, I'm fucking angry. I didn't grow up with like Asian parents, but when I bomb, it's like I have my own Asian parent. I'm like mentally abusing myself. I'm like, kind of learned to let go of that and just have fun.
The last time I bombed was like 8 months ago, or maybe like a year ago.
Like bomb,
beat dum.
Yeah, like bomb, beat them.
I bombed for like 5 minutes.
Oof.
And then the last 5 it was okay, but it doesn't even matter because the first 5 was so bad. When you go out and then you're like, oh, like these are tried and tested. I hit them with the first one and then it's like nothing. You're like, oh fuck, oh shit. Yeah. And then that gets in your head and the whole thing's downhill after that. But
your house of cards gets knocked down in the first sentence.
I spent my first 3 years bombing brutally.
Oh, yeah.
And I did not give a fuck. That was my mentality because I was drinking. I was like, I'm gonna just get up there, drink, say the most fucked up things I can, try to piss people off. Maybe I don't give a fuck. And then after like 3 years, I was like, I should probably like start trying to make the audience laugh. That should probably be the priority.
Yeah, because it's just like you're just kind of showing I'm gonna be unlikable and edgy and try to be, counter. It just kind of shows that you're you've already given up trying to be like connected. You've already made the assumption that none of these people are gonna like anything I say, so I'm just gonna fucking try to shock and awe them. And it's like I did that for so long. I did that for like 3 or 4 years. From like year 4 to 8, I spent like just trying to push the envelope and try to find what my personal line of stuff that I feel comfortable with saying on stage. I was learning that I was losing people, but also keeping them with me, and then they get it and they liked it. But now I kind of feel like I have like the edge. It's like your edge to pander ratio. It's like, yeah, I don't want to pander to you guys, but I still want to connect to you while staying authentic to myself. And like, I think that's the hardest part about comedy is figuring out like what's your angle? How do you want to do it? How do you want to come off to people? And what works,
Yeah, sometimes I feel bad about the fact that like I can't write jokes that aren't insane. Like I feel like everything I come up with is just like fucked up to some degree.
Yeah, it's kind of wacky. You say some wacky shit.
and I'm just like the biggest criticism I've gotten by like random YouTube commenters is that I try too hard to be edgy. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm trying hard not to be edgy.
Then just dial it back a little bit.
I'm just naturally insane, and I gotta
try to have more tact. Like if I always learned, I learned something about like if it's gonna be edgy. Because I've watched somebody, I came up with somebody who was very edgy and good writing, but very edgy. But some of it was so off-putting to where they shut out you say a buzzword or something, and people just turn you off mentally. Like they're not listening anymore because they're like. So if you have some way to keep those people who are reluctant to the material engaged, and then you slip it in, and you're not so brash with it, then they kind of are like, damn, that's a dark, fucked up joke. But I see how technical and tact and gentle he delivered it while also just being rash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just make it funny.
Yeah, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee type shit, but with kind of like a more risque material.
Yeah,
show it. Yeah. Like a properly timed agate. I don't know. YouTube's weird. I don't want to mess up. You said it, but yeah, like a properly timed F slur it's a good one. The timing or whatever, like Louis C.K.'s N-word joke, but he's talking about a white guy making his coffee, and he calls that white guy the N-word, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a hard R joke, but he's not talking about black people, and he thoroughly explains the prefacing in which why he said it. And it's not the fact that he says the N-word that it's funny, it's the context in which he said the N-word is what makes it funny. And you're like, oh yeah, he's just not screaming the N-word indiscriminately into a microphone. He's explaining to you that he watched a white liberal man in a man bun whip up his coffee, and the only thing in his heart was that N-word made the shit out of this coffee. And it's not even a black guy. He's just talking about some white barista. See, it's funny. It's funny because he's not talking about black people, but using such a harsh slur to describe his feelings.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the tact of like having an edgy joke. And I always kind of looked at that as like, I always remembered that joke from Louis as like you don't have to directly say, you can find a way to be edgy or push the envelope. You want to push the envelope while staying authentic to yourself. You know, you don't want to.
And being able to move on, making sure you got more funny shit to come after it. Because even if you say something that wasn't done with tact at all, and you lose everyone, you can just get them back. You can just say something funny.
You can go, all right, guys, that one was just for me, I guess. A lot of this shit is just for me, but we're moving on. All right, what else? You know, I've done that. I did that last night a couple times. I did this show called Yellow Noise, and it was like an all Asian lineup, and I told them that my Instagram handle was Chinky Sweat because I want you to type in chink on Instagram and me be the first thing that pops up. They didn't find that funny at all, bro. They fucking... And I went, all right, you guys hated that. I thought it was, just a shameless promo real quick. Just promo my IG mid-set. Okay, we're moving on. And they laughed at me acknowledging that it bombed. And sometimes just acknowledging the bomb can humanize you and be like, oh, yeah, he made a mistake, but we liked the stuff he said before that, so we're going to let him say the next thing. Yeah. It's like, oh, I can't lose him. Yeah, you can lose him. It's just get him back. It's okay. Like, if you're going to... The fear of not trying stuff, people are always operating in that the safety net because they're scared to go in those murky waters. They're scared to lose them because they're not confident in themselves that they could get them back. It's like, bro, you got to figure it out.
I enjoy going in the pit and then climbing back out of it.
Yeah, putting yourself in a hole and finding your way out, because you did the risk. You took the risk, and now you're in that position. You're in that. Now it's up to you to move those chess pieces so they can get that checkmate and get out of there. Some people will just do the same 10 minutes for 20 fucking years. That's pretty gay, dude. That's fucking sad as shit.
I try to do something new every time.
Yeah, I get excited. I think of something new. I followed Ty Wynn at that show. Shotgun. So Pflugerville's own Ty Wynn, very funny. Look him up. He does rap.
Yeah, we've had him
comedy.
on the podcast.
You guys had him on the show? Yeah, you guys
he was on Fish Tank. I got a bunch of followers from Fish Tank.
Fish Tank. Yeah, Fish Tank was cool. He's friends with Sam Hyde, and he did Fish Tank. Ty Wynn rules, but I followed him.
He's awesome.
I followed him. He's like, okay, you guys ready for your next comedian? Okay, I want you guys to sound like $1 million for Michael Ridley. And then I go up on stage and I go, hey guys, I talk just like him too. Buckle up, dickhead. I don't talk like that. Fucking huge fucking. That would be fucking crazy if I just thought if I was that guy.
I did that following a black lady once. I was like, how the hell y'all doing?
That fucking rule. Okay. All right, y'all motherfuckers make some noise right quick for a bitch. I know y'all can get loud for a bitch right quick. Yeah, like, But then I was like, oh God, man. I was like, we have the same haircut too, me and Ty. And I was like, I'm fucking.
He's Vietnamese, right?
Yeah, he's Vietnamese.
That's
but
why I thought
I
you
told
were.
Ty. I told Ty. I was like, I told the crowd about Ty. I was like, I'm 5 years away from looking just like him, dude. And I take my hat off and I go like this. I'm like, I'm the war turtle to his Blastoise, and they got it. You know what I mean? I'm basically saying we're in the same evolutionary pattern of like, I'm the war turtle and he's Blastoise because he's fully bald. And I'm almost, I'm losing my hair a little bit, so it was funny. I had amazing. It was 10 minutes, fire crowd. It was incredible. It was absolutely a good time. East Austin Comedy place rules. East Austin Comedy Club rules when it's packed out.
That's the place I bombed.
Yeah, I bombed there too.
They never had me back.
Oh yeah. They didn't have me back for a while after I bombed. Man. I got hit by a car though when I bombed. I was like in between shows, went to go get a burrito.
You bombed and then you got hit by a car.
No, I got hit by a car, then I went up and I bombed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
my leg was throbbing from the car from getting hit by an Uber.
Did you mention it?
Yeah, I tried to talk about it, and I lost them. Because I was trying to talk about how I screamed in the lady's face. She opened a door. I was scooting by, and she opens a passenger door, and it goes right into my leg at 10 miles an hour. Yeah, and I just do you not fucking check, you stupid bitch? Do you not look out the window? Look. Hopefully you never forget, because you hurt me. Now I'm hurt. Now we're here. Because of your negligence. Pay the fuck attention. Nothing. They're like, oh God, this guy's actually just screaming at us now. I lost him completely. Yeah, they didn't have me for 6 months. And then they called me back. They hit me up. I had to fight them. Be like, hey, I'm better. It's funny. The comedian Heather Keith, she was eating this California burrito and it looked fire. So I go to get my own. I come back to the club after getting hit by a car. She only has half of her burrito left. We could have split the burrito, dude. We could have split. I could have just split the burrito with her. And then I ate a fucking full California burrito. Went on stage with a full stomach and a fucking hardcore injured thigh. I had the door edge of Camry going to my leg like this at 10 miles an hour. Just fucking, and I'm sweating from the pain. I just look crazy. I'm full and I'm talking all slow and I look gross. I don't know.
What is that?
Huh?
When was that?
Last winter. That was last winter. That was God, maybe November, December last year. Horrible. Yeah. You gonna wrap it up soon?
Yeah, dude. We're at hour 12. I'm flying to Vegas tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm flying to Alabama tomorrow.
All right, you want to plug yourself?
Oh yeah, guys. Go ahead if you enjoyed. Woo. All right, that's fine. I'll just take it out like this. If you guys enjoyed my time here on Eli's podcast, you can check me out at my own YouTube channel, Michael Ridley on YouTube. I have the Radio Ridley Radio podcast. It's a riff podcast I do for an hour. And I have a Patreon where I have an additional hour posted every week, every Friday. Follow me on Instagram at Chinky Sweat. If you want to see me live, if you want to see me headline, you can catch me at Hyenas, Fort Worth, August 31st, 10 p.m. It's a Saturday. Me and Ari Maddie will be up in that bitch. Hopefully they don't cancel my show. I need people to buy tickets. Go look it up. That's it for me. Thank you.